And welcome back, everyone, to Box Office Report today on the 21st of September, 2025. Hey, look, I didn't get the box office right, but I didn't get the box office right. Let's be honest. Demon Slayer, the movie Infinite Castle, made under 17.3 million, even though it took a 75.5% drop, which I'm not surprised by that, by the way. Him debuts at 13.5 million. The Conjuring, Last Rites, made under 12.9 million. Downton Abbey, the grand finale, 6.3 million, and The Long Walk made under 63 million for a 46.2% drop. And we look at the box office real quick. That's 30.8, 31.7, 43. It's still almost a $60 million weekend almost $70 million weekend at the box office. Not bad. But Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba is, look, this is the highest grossing animated film of all time from what anime film of all time from what I can tell, which speaks to the love of the franchise, the modern era, ticket prices obviously, but hell, even at 104, this thing has made a lot of money, because these things are relatively cheap compared to other movies to make. But yeah, not only, honestly, let's get this up here. Not only is the highest grossing anime movie of all time, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that. Let me double check Pokemon real quick. Pokemon on the first movie, which I believe is the highest grossing one. First movie. Let's see here now. Pokemon the first movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back, it cleared it the first week. It cleared it long before that. No, it's the highest grossing anime film of all time, but it's not just that. I forgot. That's why I brought that up. Give me 1 second. I wanted to get the worldwide box office. I believe that puts it as I want to say it's the 6th or 7th highest grossing film of the year. 9th, actually, no, 8th, because I'm not counting these two, because they don't adhere to the same standards as everyone else, so there's no reason to count that. You should not count that. Sorry. Sorry if you do. I'm not sorry if you do, but I mean, if you disagree, that's fine, but I disagree. So it's the 8th highest grossing film right now of the year. So that's impressive. That just speaks to franchise. Also speaks to the fact that the actual films coming out this week really weren't all that interesting. Speaking of which, because look, it took a 75.5% drop, which is kind of where I would expect something like that to. All anime films take a really big drop the second weekend because they have a really good first opening weekend because of all the fandom that comes with it. But then because they're a niche thing. They're a niche thing. It's like weird mix of comic book culture and the more like religious faith-based culture. They have a niche audience, but they still have it's a bigger niche audience that will go on that makes for a bigger opening weekend. They just take a much larger drop. Still, last I knew, stood at roughly 30% on Rotten Tomatoes for the critics, and the audience was 58%. Was not a good movie. My review for that's up. You can look at it. You can watch it, get my full thoughts on it. Or if you just want my short thoughts, I have a Ad Theater Reaction short. Just go to the shorts part of my page. Yeah, look, didn't necessarily have the best marketing because it really didn't give you a good idea of what the film was about. There were metaphors for things like being concussed, but is it really being concussed? It was being a little avant-garde while trying to be a little weird and psychological. It was just, oh man, it's down to 28% now. Oof. And Big Bold Very Beautiful Journey didn't get a good review either. Woof. But The Senior got a good opening, or good review. Speaking of which, The Senior, I know that just opened up. Could have opened up worse. It's an Angel Studios film. But more to the point. It opened at $13.5 million. Worldwide, it stands at $13.8 million. It is only made on a $25 million film budget, so that's good for it. But I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not gonna make his money back on that budget because you factor 25 million in for the budget, then probably 30 for the marketing, roughly. You're looking at a film that has to hit somewhere in the neighborhood of 80 million just to break even. Yeah, it's not getting close to that. And look, there's a good idea with this movie, but unfortunately, I feel like Jordan Peele has not been able to capitalize on Get Out, Get Out. Us was still did well financially, but was a big disappointment. I liked Nope, but it still made even less. And then all of his produced stuff hasn't done that well, all things considered. What was it? Something where the one where the ladies, women get kidnapped and are put on this mock plantation. It looks like they've gone to the past, but really just been kidnapped. Kind of like an inverse version of the Village. And the Candyman remake that was really good, like that. And he produced that. So not everything Jordan Peele's been doing has been off. But I heard it put best. This felt like one of the lesser episodes of The Twilight Zone, which he also did a version of. So I don't know. I don't know what went wrong here. And I saw like, hey, it had like 6.3 million on Friday. So I'm like, okay, maybe the Saturday will be a little higher. It'll be like 7 and then it'll drop up 5. So it'll be somewhere in like the 15 to 17 million dollars. Nope. It went down every other day. So yeah, unfortunately him, not a good start. Otherwise, we've been having a really good year for horror. Weapons, Sinners. I mean, Conjuring was good. Together, I heard, was really good. Yeah, so I mean, not everything was good. I didn't like The Woman in the Yard all that much. Wolfman was a disappointment, but still, otherwise, The Monkey was fun. Speaking of Conjuring, $12.9 million. Now, it's already the highest grossing in the franchise. How high will it go? Well, it's about to cross 400 million. That's how high it will go. Conjuring Last Rites was made on $55 million, if I remember correctly. Even if you highball to the $50 million mark for its marketing budget, you're looking at a film that has cleared $100 million in profit. No problem. Enough said. Like, no joke. It is cleared $100 million in profit. 100% it has. And that's the numbers Warner Brothers loves to see. And Warner Brothers has been having a lot of success as of late. Now, apparently they're allegedly being up for sale. Right now, Paramount allegedly is bidding for them, and allegedly Netflix wants to get into that. If it is up for sale, God, no, do I not want Netflix to get them, because then you're not going to be getting as much theatrical releases. Netflix's model sucks. It sucks. They don't care about theatrical. They just don't. And they should, because the numbers have proven time and time again. Put a movie in theaters first, which they're experimenting with it now, but put a movie in theaters first, and it gives you more, because you also don't market your freaking movies on Netflix at all. So, my God. But look, Conjuring Last Rites. It was a good Conjuring movie. That's all I really have to say on it. There really isn't anything else to add with that. I wish there was, but there's not. So yeah. But look, it's the highest grossing of the franchise by a mile. One of the highest grossing films. Frankly, it's getting there of the year. It's not in the top 10, but it's currently the 11th highest grossing film of the year. Good shot. It could be the number 10. Good shot. It could be. It's only got it making our 16 million, not even to do so. If it can make 60 million, it beats Captain America: Brave New World, which is currently the number 10. So yeah, here's hoping. And if it doesn't, it ends on a really great run, but we're starting to go into October. So not only was drop-offs kind of drop even slower, we might actually see a little bit of an uptick. Downton Abbey, the grand finale, $6.3 million, $59 million. Now, if I remember correctly, it is on like a $20 or $40 million budget. What was it? Downton Abbey. Hold on. Downton Abbey, the grand finale. What was the budget on this thing? It was 50 million budget. Okay, yeah, it's not there yet. it's not there to breaking even yet. Nor does it. Look, the Downton Abbey films have a huge fan base, but I don't think anyone's expecting them to break even or even make a lot of money. But I mean, look, it's still going. It's only in its second week. and it's a very loyal fan base. The people who want to keep going back there will keep going back there. But you can't be shocked when it doesn't like make millions and millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. The Long Walk, a film that frankly deserves a lot better. That was another film that falls into good horror movies this year. But okay, so it's at least hit its budget, 25 million worldwide. It deserved a far better opening weekend than what it got. This was a really good movie. My only suspicions as to why it didn't have a better opening weekend, which is really all we can ask the question of, not how well it does long term for drop-offs, which actually had a decent drop-off, but why it didn't open to higher. The concept didn't really interest enough people. Stephen King's name may not carry the same cachet as it used to. The time of year, that's another thing. The subject matter, to be honest. These kids basically being killed and shot. So, I mean, they're like 18, but still. Not maybe appealing to some audiences. But look, that doesn't change the fact that it's a good movie. It did deserve better. A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey. $3.5 million. $8 million worldwide. Honestly, I did want to kind of see this too, but then my car decided to act up, so I got to get sent back. I know what the problem is. It's such a stupid thing. But yeah, it's still annoying as hell. Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey, $8 million. I mean, I don't know what the film's made on. I assume there's some budget to it, but not a lot. The senior debuts with $2.7 million. Probably, yeah, wasn't getting a real big foreign release, but good for it. Apparently, it is in fact based on a real story. So good for him. Or good for it. And look, these films have their place. I can't judge it very much. Toy Story in a re-release still makes another $1.4 million. It made $7 million in re-release, which isn't a lot, but it's something. Let's see here. Light and Sound presents Noah Live. Made $1.3 million. I don't think anyone, and 1.6 total. Good for it. Weapons made another $1.6 million. It's pretty done its run at $263 million. Might have an extra few million left in the tank, but that's about it. But good for it. I mean, Weapons made a lot of money. You want to talk about a sleeper hit? That was a sleeper hit. Freakier Friday made $1.1 million. Almost that. It's going to end at about 150, which is what I thought it could, the max threshold could be. Max ceiling. Bad Guys 2 under $700,000. Is it over 200 million? Oh, it did cross over 200 million, which puts it firmly in the profitable range. Good for it. It didn't make as much as the original, but you know what? It still went on to make a decent little amount. And it was a fun little film. Hamilton in re-release still made over 600 grand. Apollo 13 in re-release made 600 grand. Fantastic Four made almost 600 grand. It's also pretty done. 515 might cross 520. That's about it. Everything else is pretty done. Its runs, like The Roses, unfortunately, just did not do well unless the foreign markets really kicked in for it, which it could have. No, it didn't, unfortunately. But The Roses deserve so much better. Jurassic World Rebirth is also pretty done. I mean, if we look at currently the top 10, the actual top 10 of the year, it is, 1 second, boop, there we go. Lilo and Stitch, Minecraft, Jurassic World, 866, sorry. Lilo and Stitch at $1,036 million, Minecraft at $957.8 million, Jurassic World at $866 million, How to Train Your Dragon live action remake at $634 million, F1 at $624 million, Superman at $615 million, number 7, 598 for Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, Demon Slayer currently at 555 at number 8, number 9 is Fantastic Four, 519, and Captain America Brave New World rounds out with 415 for the top 10. Now, first up, who's going to be joined in the top 10 in a little bit? Conjuring Last Rites, I have no doubt, is going to overtake Captain America Brave New World. No doubt about that. So it will be probably your new top 10, your number 10. Demon Slayer is almost certainly, I mean, at the rate it's going, almost certainly going to surpass Mission Impossible. I don't know if it gets higher than, say, like How to Train Your Dragon. But I think it will, I think in the long haul, it's going to end up somewhere between currently the 8th highest grossing. So the 7th highest grossing in the 5th highest grossing. It has the potential, at least. In terms of upcoming films that have the potential to join the top 10, there's not a lot in October. Zootopia, Wicked for Good, and Avatar are your guarantees to join the top 10 this year. Guarantees. I have no doubt about that. Otherwise, I don't know if there's any sleeper hits we can really say. I'd have to have the list of the upcoming movies this year in front of me, and I'm just not going to go out and do that. Now, with that being said, what's this week's box office look like? Let's see. One Battle After Another finally is getting released, and I'm hearing good things about it. We also got Strangers Chapter 2 and Gabby's Dollhouse. Okay. Based on everything I've been hearing, it's going to be One Battle After Another. Demon Slayer is going to take another giant drop next week. I don't even see it being in the top 10, to be honest. I would probably put Strangers Chapter 2. I'm not going to lie, Gabby's Dollhouse. Well, no. Actually, you know what? Probably not Gabby's Dollhouse. I'd put Conjuring after that. Him. And then probably The Long Walk. Because that being said, things like the Paw Patrol movies do well. I'm going to say Gabby's Dollhouse is just not going to make it into the top 5, but I could be dead wrong on that. But I'm fine being dead wrong on that. Anyway, though, that's my thoughts on this week's box office. Not a huge amount of surprises except for him. Even I thought him would at least open better than that. So, yeah, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. I'll be enjoying. I'll see you next time.